Hi, I'm Bobby. Welcome to my world. And I have to ask, ladies, babies, everything in between these, have you ever been sitting at home alone, all by yourself on a Saturday night and thought, wow, sure do wish I had a boyfriend? Well, don't, because you could be dating a sociopath. The movie centers around Jane, our main character, who is a student in high school and whose parents might have a bit of a booze problem.
Now you have drinks.
He's a friend, and he's right. But you can't just walk away from me. We're not done talking about this.
Jane's been waiting half an hour. All right, we'll talk later.
Let her wait. This is a lot more important. Besides, you can't drive. You're drunk.
Oh, you want to drive? My one beer versus your half bottle of wine. Who should go? That's what I thought.
And are on the verge of splitting up at any moment. When her dad becomes distracted while driving, she unfortunately becomes hospitalized after a car accident for 2 whole months. So this girl has to be all kinds of messed up, right? No, she's just on crutches, but at least she's going home with the good stuff. So now that Jane has returned home, she's learned that her dad has moved out of the house, and a newer, younger, hotter physical therapist by the name of Brian is trying to move right on in. When attempting some mother-daughter's bonding time over shopping, Jane spots a new bracelet on her mom's wrist, one that isn't from her dad, Paul. Then her mom takes her to the gym, where she has a session with who else but Brian, the new boyfriend.
So, you're Brian?
Yes, I am Brian McGavin. You must be Jane?
Yep. I thought this would be a nice way to introduce you. He helped me get in such great shape.
Right.
Yeah, everybody loves a good ambush, right?
But with the help of her sassy token black friend, Jane manages to cut their meeting short. After doing a little Nancy Drew sleuthing of her own, Jane finds out where her dad is now staying since he has to move out of the house and goes to his hotel room. And even though he doesn't seem that he's trying too hard to get reacquainted with his wife, he's been getting pretty cozy up to a bottle of bourbon next to his bed. But in order to, get reacquainted and spend some time with Jane, he agrees to drive her back home, where his wife and her new boyfriend are taken aback by his sudden appearance.
You anyway.
He's my guest.
We're gonna cool off, take a breath, and step down, yeah?
You don't get to tell me what to do.
Dad, look, you don't just speak to my invited guest in any tone.
Mom!
What? He started it.
Mom, I'm the one who started it. Bringing you back.
I'm sleeping with your wife, I'm gonna raise your kids as my own.
Do that, but tonight is obviously.
Paul!
Dad!
Maybe Paul should have listened to Brian, because Brian said, if you want to go there, we could go there. Now that there's a restraining order against Jane's dad, the new boyfriend is definitely trying to make good on his promise. And to cope, Jane's popping those pain pills like it's pets. But Brian is also helping himself to her stash while everyone's asleep. Remember the bracelet he gave her? Well, the glass was broken, so she took it back to the store to get it repaired. Brian, being the wonderful boyfriend that he is, offers to go and pick it up for her. But there's far more to it than just that.
What are you talking about?
Fine. Let me tell you a story about a handsome young man who came into a jewelry store a number of times with an older, wealthy woman whom we're going to call Lady A. Then, after a few months, lo and behold, he's been authorized to buy things on her account. Well, sure enough, one day he comes in and he buys this bracelet. But for another woman, Lady B, a similarly well-heeled woman. Well, not too long after that, Lady A suddenly dies in an accident. And later that year, Lady B suddenly isn't around anymore either. Now let's fast forward a year. A new Lady C walks into this store holding the exact same bracelet.
Meanwhile, Jane's addiction, or lack thereof, is starting to spiral out of control thanks to Brian swapping her pills out, and eventually it sends her into the hospital. Now that she's released, she tells her mom that she's going to take her sobriety very seriously. She just needs to talk to her dad one last time to put the pain behind her. I'm sorry, how long has he moved out? It's been like maybe 2 months? Like, you act like you're never going to see him again. Aren't you graduating soon? Huh? Did they even talk to divorce lawyers? Anyway, I digress. She goes to her dad, but it's all just a ruse. She's there to tell him how Brian attempted to murder her.
Taking more and more pills and they haven't done a thing. And then I take 5 this morning and it hits me like a truck. I'm apparently lucky that my liver didn't shut down. The only possible explanation is that my pills are switched out for placebos or something and then switched back.
That's crazy.
Yeah, maybe he's crazy. Maybe it's part of a bigger plan. I don't know, but it happened, Dad.
With the help of her bestie, she goes full Harry the Spy mode and they put a tracking device on his car and follow him around. That's a real A1 to A1 friend for you if she's willing to follow around and attempt murder. So while Brian is out with her mom and kid sister, did I mention that she has a little sister? Yeah, she has a little sister that plays a very small, significant role in the movie, and right now it's not it.
That's not a word.
Sure it is.
Use it in a sentence.
Me go to the mall.
Put it back.
So while everyone's out, Jane somehow manages to hire a locksmith using a fake ID to break into Brian's house, where she manages to snoop around and find that he has pictures of her house and a stash of cash and jewelry, all within the span of 2 hours. Okay. He then goes on this harebrained Wile E. Coyote scheme to attempt to frame the ex-husband for her mom's murder and then kidnapping and ransoming her kid sister in exchange for all the jewelry and valuables that he had stolen from his previous murder victims. Did I mention that the police are not involved? But who needs police when you have a smartwatch to track them?
I'm gonna bottle the good stuff. Make sure Tilly's watching a movie. I will be right there. Absolutely. I love you too. Mwah.
But Jane outsmarts Brian, and she's racing against time to find her kid sister before he finds them both. But with the thanks of her sister Tilly, Jane finally puts an end to Brian. With Brian dead and out of the picture, Paul is able to return home and Jane and her family live happily ever after. The end. Ladies, the moral of this movie is don't believe that a hot 30-year-old physical therapist genuinely wants to love you and raise your children as his own. Instead, just settle for your alcoholic husband who doesn't appreciate you enough. That was a recap. Please do not forget to like, comment, subscribe. It means so much. And until next time, bye.